social media. We're going to get you out here well before the top of the hour, give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games, and that's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's deliver live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And to deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and at Sports Chat Place. Let's take a peek at who's on the show with us for today. All right, Big Al McMordie with us, Zawacky, David Racey, Jay Briggs, back from Vegas. And we got Brian Bitler, and here's how they'll line up for this evening. We've got Bitler, Racy, Briggs, McMordie, Zawacky, and then I will close this one out. Significant week this week. Why? Because, well, preseason football begins middle of the week. Training camps in session, glued to the NFL Network. All those breaking news coming in. And, of course, baseball still on the dock. We'll cover a lot of baseball today, so let's get this one in the way. Let's get the week started with Brian Bitler. You see him atop the leaderboards for Major League Baseball this season, doing great work. Catch him over at Pick Dogs. Bring him in right now. Brian, what's happening?
I tell you what, funny you mentioned preseason football. I was working on my write-up for that NFL Hall of Fame game, so I'm hoping I got a good feel and can start the year off with a W.
That's right. Ready to roll here with the preseason football, not too far away. And tonight we go to Major League Baseball out to the NL West as we see the Diamondbacks and Giants going head-to-head. These teams battling here. Well, it all looks like a wild card position. Dodgers seem to be distancing the field, but we'll see how it rolls as we get into the late in the summer. We see the Diamondbacks, the Dogs here, Giants favored minus 133, see total of 8.5.
Yeah, this game kind of threw me for a little bit of a curveball because I was expecting Alex Cobb to start, but it makes no difference to me. I'm still going to go with the San Francisco Giants, even with Jacob Junis on the mound, at least opening for the San Francisco Giants, who have the seventh best ERA bullpen in baseball. I think they're far and away better pitching-wise than the Diamondback starter Ryan Nelson. I think these teams are headed in opposite directions. And pitching-wise, the Diamondbacks ranked near the bottom of the league at ERA 4.65. Giants have been solid at home all season long. Well, at least over the significant part of the season, 30-23 so far straight up. Ryan Nelson comes in here with a 4.97 ERA, a whip of 1.41, and two of his last four starts he's got hit around pretty good. Arizona Diamondbacks, you can see the regression for them, 2-8 last 10 games. I think they're going to struggle playing a lot of games with the Dodgers, Padres, and Giants down the stretch. At least in this game tonight, I'm going to take the San Francisco Giants on the money line.
All right, we have Brian here going to go ahead and take the Giants minus 126 here against the D-backs. Yeah, we do see Junis here to get the start here at just pitch the 11th inning in their win way back. It was a long time ago here, so interesting to see here.
July 26th, I think it was.
It's been a little bit. A little while ago here, but again, he's a veteran in the major leagues. You know, when you look at his ERA, it's never been under 4, and it's been around since 2017.
Yeah, I remember his days with the Kansas City Royals. He's gotten me a few times. Everybody knows I like the teams that are, some say, the crappier teams in Major League Baseball. And Jacob Junis was, one of those Royals starters I liked. But here with San Francisco, he had some bright spots. I think it was last season or was it early this season? Jacob Junis. I still think he can give the Giants three innings tonight before that bullpen takes over, and we know that Giants bullpen can hold its own.
Yeah, the Giants bullpen, no doubt about that. Although Junis a little higher there at home with that ERA. When you look at that home road splits and even batting averages, teams are hitting him a bit. 299 against right-handers, 289 against the lefties.
Oof. Yeah, if he keeps up those kind of numbers, he's going to be out of the big leagues after this year. But I just think San Francisco pitcher-friendly ballpark, and I think the Giants are on the upswing. I think Arizona's going to be on the downswing.
Yeah, Diamondbacks getting looking for some bullpen help right now. They did acquire a player here, giving up some prospects to the Mariners. Looks like they're trying to beef up that bullpen. Remember, that road trip was a disastrous with that bullpen, previous one.
Oh, yeah, yep, for sure. If you don't have the bullpen, games can get out of hand quick, and you're not going to go – long term, you're not going to have success without a strong bullpen.
All right, Brian here on the Giants, minus 126 here against the Diamondbacks. This one to have a start time here of 9:45 Eastern Time. All right, Brian, let's take a look over at Pick Document for tonight's action. 10 on the board. No, nothing started yet, so we got 10 on the board for Major League Baseball. Headed into a preseason Hall of Fame weekend in the NFL. Look at these numbers from Brian here in Major League Baseball. 1,449 units of profit. That's documented. When you visit Pick Dogs Premium, you go down to Pick History. Every play is documented. Also, all sports combined showing good profit. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Just one premium play for me, but it is my titanium play. My titanium $15 winners, 194, 151 and 1. That's a 56% hit rate on the last 347. Major League Baseball, I almost hate to see July go because I was 41-28, 59% winners. So definitely, and also today, the last day you can get in on Christmas in July. Tomorrow those sales will be off. You can get a full year of my plays for just $999. Don't forget to use the code PICK at checkout. Get that 15% off.
That's right, guys. Get over with Brian Bitler over at Pick Dogs Premium. Great results in baseball. 1,449 units of profit. Still a lot of baseball to go. We got August, September, of course, the month of October in the postseason. So that Christmas in July is the way to go. Get on board with Christmas in July with Brian. We've reduced the 1 year passes significantly across the board here for the cappers. So get on board. Pick is a promo code. You can also add a 15% discount, another $150 off Brian's 1 year all sports pass, all plays for that period of time. Brian's been hot on the bases and more. So get on board with Brian Bitler. All right, Brian, as always, great having this show. Enjoy the rest of the week, and we'll catch up with you here again on Friday.
Yeah, I'm taking a little bit small vacation, and as you can hear in the background, dogs are barking, but hopefully not barking in San Francisco tonight, but we'll see how that goes.
Yep, I hope they're barking somewhere closer, a little to the east of them, but we'll talk about that later. All right, Brian, have a great night, and we'll catch up with you again on Friday.
Have a good week, Tony. I'll see you on Friday.
Brian Bitler here on The Drive, too. Let's continue on here on the show. Time to bring in David Racey. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring him in right now. Of course, you can catch his written work over on the websites as well. One of the featured writers over at Pick Dogs, and of course, contributing to Sports Chat Place. Bring in David right now. David, what's happening?
Not much, Tony. How are you doing?
Doing awesome. All right, here we go. Brewers on the road here to face the Nationals. The Brewers big favorites here, minus 193. These are live odds coming in with a total of 8.5.
Yeah, Milwaukee comes into this one as a big favorite, and I like them to cover the run line here. I like them minus the 1.5. The Brewers did just get swept by the Braves, and kind of an ugly series for their pitching staff. They allowed quite a few runs, but this Nationals lineup is nothing like the Atlanta lineup. Atlanta's lineup is one of the best in baseball. Washington ranks down in 22nd in runs scored, so I think the Milwaukee pitching staff will bounce back nicely here. Milwaukee has played Atlanta 6 times here recently, but if you take those games out, they are 10-3 in their last 13. They're going with Corbin Burnes today, who's one of their best pitchers. He started the year kind of shaky, but he's bounced back nicely, and he's allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in 5 straight starts. When we're looking at the Nationals, they just lost 3 out of 4 to the Mets. They only scored 2 runs or fewer in the 3 losses, so the offense is struggling. The pitching staff, 27th in team ERA. Their bullpen is second to last in bullpen ERA. And I just think Milwaukee's going to get it going here today, bouncing back off that series sweep from Atlanta. They're still in that fight for the NL Central. These are the series they have to take advantage of, and I'm going to ride Corbin Burnes here.
All right, Dave, going to ride Corbin Burnes. That's the play here with the Brewers. Lay the run and a half, minus 123 in some books. The sharpest book in the world, you get minus 115. Look at that spread in these money lines. Minus 115 on the minus, plus 104 on the plus. You've got to shop to get the best numbers. You've got to start paying attention to this that juice side because, some of these sports books like to advertise and you pay for it in the juice, but some of these books don't. And people find out, and they go out there and that's why you got to go out there and shop. And don't get there's a lot of folks that like to advertise, but you are paying a tax on those advertisements you see over national radio and national television. So Brian here, so David here on the Brewers. David, I'm looking at Corbin Burnes, man. He has just looked really good. He looked like he's taken off some weight. Looks really lean there on the mound. I bring that up only because of this pitch clock. You have to move quicker now. You better have some quick recovery time between pitches. The cardio's got to be better.
Yeah, and I don't know if that, because if there were pitchers in the beginning of the year that we were expecting to do big things that struggled, and I don't know if that pitch clock had anything to do with it, but you're absolutely right. I mean, they have no time to play around out there on the mound like they used to. And like you said, Burnes lately has been unreal. He's been very good, and if he continues this up, the Brewers will have a great chance in that NL Central. There you go,
David, on the Brewers, the run line. Lay the run and a half. Again, if you're going to get one of those square books, minus 123, the sharper books, minus 115. Obviously, the books that have more volume are going to give you the better price most of the time. and that who don't advertise are going to also give you a good rate. So make sure you guys shop around, get the best numbers. This one to have a start time here, 7 p.m. Eastern time, right? David, let's take a look over at Pick Dodgeman for tonight's action. Of course, lots of action on the board. 10 on the board for Major League Baseball. Nothing yet start, no day games yet. We're approaching start time in a few games here at 40 minutes past the hour. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, it was a solid weekend for me over at Pick Dogs Premium. I went 4-1 yesterday. Today I have my MLB 3-pack along with my MLB best bet, but that best bet is included in the 3-pack, so obviously don't buy both. But it's a great time to hop on right now, a long-term package. It's better value than just the 3-pack or 5-pack or whatever pack you find during the day. Head on over, join me for a 3-day, 7-day, 30-day, the all year. Pair me up with another capper. Whatever you do, just head on over to Pick Dogs Premium and let's have a good Monday night.
That's right, guys. Good morning, Matt. Get on board with David Racey over at Pick Dogs Premium. So get on board with David's plays for tonight. Also, long-term passes will serve you well. That 3, 7, or 30 All Sports Pass. Get all of David's premium plays for that period of time you select. When you go to his handicapper page and you make that purchase, remember the promo code PICK at checkout. That will save you there that 15% off when you get on board with David Racey over at Pick Dogs Premium. A lot of folks like to start off with that 7-day pass just to feel them out. You get all of David's plays for 7 days here, Monday through Sunday, and then you can upgrade next week as well. All right, David, have a great night, a great week. Of course, we mentioned your writings. We can catch over on the sites in written form.
Yeah, I'm one of the writers over at pickdogs.com and Sports Chat Place. You can head on over there, click on the free pick tab, click on whatever sports you're looking for. You can get a free pick article on just about every single game. The baseball articles are posted generally about between midnight and 2 a.m. Eastern Time. As we get into football, those are posted a couple days in advance. But head on over there. It's a great source of information, and you get a free pick out of it.
That's right, guys. Check out David Racey's written work over on the sites and get signed up as well. All right, David, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
All right, I appreciate it, Tony. Thank you.
You as well. David Racey here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on seeing a lot of people sign in right now. If you miss a pick, we're going to recap at the end of the day. Stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Up next, Jay Briggs. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Part of the morning show. Catch the NFL show here every day with him and Mitch in the afternoons. So we'll bring in Jay back from Vegas. So we'll bring him in right now. Let's get him ready here with Jay Briggs. Jay, what's happening?
Tony T, what's happening?
Things going great. Before we get to the game, tell us about your trip to Vegas.
Man, it was a lot of fun, man. Unfortunately, my guy Spence did take the L, but overall, Vegas is it's probably going to be my new city within the next, you know what I mean?
All right, listen, I had a feeling you'd be moving over there. I had a funny feeling once you got a taste of it and you know what it's like being in these non-legal states. It's a totally different world out there.
It's a totally different world, and the world I think I fit right in. So I can't wait to be back. That's what I'll say.
That's right. We can't wait to be back there in Vegas. Keep an eye. Some people like the Sutherlands. Some people like, there's a couple of nice suburbs of Vegas out there. The Henderson. Those are a couple cities people like to live there. But of course, you make your choice. You might just find a strip property up there, one of those high rises.
Yeah, one more year around under the sun, and I might be able to go.
All right, no doubt. So another Cowboy fan in Vegas coming up. All right, here we go. Tonight, Red Sox and Mariners going head-to-head. As we see the Mariners favored at home here, minus 124. We see a total of 7.5.
Yeah, I think this is one of the better games on tonight, and I think this will be a good game. But I'm here to make the case for the Red Sox. I think they're going to get the win today. I think the Red Sox have been one of the hottest teams in baseball right before the All-Star break and coming out of it. And I think we see them respond today. Kirby is on the mound for the Mariners, and I do understand why they're favored. But when I look at what Nick Pivetta has done, I mean, he's played just as good. His last 5 starts, all wins, Toronto, Oakland twice against the Mets. And then this last one, it was probably his best against the Atlanta Braves. 5 innings, 3 hits, no runs given up. I like what I've seen from Pivetta, and I think we see another good outing from him today. I think that this Red Sox team, the bats will probably get to Kirby a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him give up some runs. And I think the Red Sox are going to be the one that win this baseball game today. We've already seen Pivetta go up against this Mariners team once this year. Wasn't his best outing, but they did get the dub in that game. And I think today is probably going to be something similar. So give me the Red Sox plus money line here.
All right, we got Jay here on the Red Sox money line here against the Mariners. Of course, the Red Sox, interesting note here, they've been a pretty good hitting team at home, but on the road, it's just been 235 On base percentage under 300, 4.3 runs a game. Remember, they're averaging 5 a game, so we haven't seen that run production on the road here from this Red Sox team.
Yeah, you're right. They haven't been quite that same team on the road, but I think today's a spot where, it's probably not going to take them too many, because I think this is a good pitching game, and I think 4 runs could possibly get it done for the Red Sox, and I think their bats are definitely more capable of doing that in this spot than the Mariners. So
yeah. Here you're going to be battling one of the most efficient pitchers in baseball. People love Kirby because in his starts this season, he's pitched 124 innings, just 12 walks.
Yeah, Kirby's been that guy this year. There's a reason he was an all-star, but we've seen all of the all-stars struggle in spots this year, and I think today will be Kirby's.
All right, Jay here is on the Kirby, not on Kirby, he's on the Red Sox here, plus 112 here against the Mariners. This one will have a start time here of 9:40 Eastern time. All right, Jay, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge Premium for tonight's action. Of course, great results from Jay here for the year, 369 units of profit. Nothing started yet, so that means a full 10-game card remaining here on this Monday for Major League Baseball. What do you have going on over at the site?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, I have 3 plays over on the site. I have my $19 play of the day. We've been fairly hot on that. I want to say we've hit 11 of 18, I want to say. So you can scoop up that play. I have a plus money dog that I really like as well. My favorite dog on the card tonight. You can scoop that up. And I have 3 plays in the 3-pack. My money making 3-pack. You can get the play of the day, the dog, and another play I really enjoy. All in the 3-pack, $40. But today is July 31st, so you know what that means. It's the very last day for Christmas in July, man. If you want my yearly package, scoop it up right now. You get every sport that I'm active in for the entire year. You get it from July 31st now to July 31st next year. NBA, NFL, all of college sports, NHL, baseball, everything, man. So scoop up that package, Christmas in July. Pair me up 2-for-1 capper special, and let's continue making some money here at Pick Dogs.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Jay Briggs over at Pick Dogs Premium. Good results in baseball. 369 units of profit, so get on board. Remember, the Christmas in July last day, Jay's greatly reduced his 1-year all sports pass, and you can take another 15% off that by using that promo code PICK at checkout. We'll take you down 15% from that already reduced price there, so really good value there. And, of course, includes all plays that Jay releases from all the sports he handicaps, including the postseason, the playoffs included, preseason football there as well. We know last year you came with a bang, Jay, with that preseason football.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I led all of Pick Dogs in units last year in preseason football. And like Tony said, man, we are back. We are here. We have a Hall of Fame game this Thursday. I'm super excited for it. And I plan on going just as heavy and hopefully providing the same unit production again this year in the preseason. So I might be doing a little video series on it. No word on that yet. I might not. So be on the lookout. I'll let y'all know here.
All right, be on the lookout. We get some Jay's preseason football video series in the works. Leave your comments. Leave your comments here. Leave the comments in the morning show if you'd like to see those. Of course, Jay's very receptive. So if you have any opinion on what you'd like to see on the show, please leave the comments, if you would, on any of the shows, the live show with Jay in the morning, also NFL, or here on the drive-thru. Greatly appreciate that. All right, Jay, have a great night, and we'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Yes, sir, Tony T. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Jay Briggs here on the drive-thru. Guys, if you miss any picks, I know a lot of folks chime in a little late. We're going to do a complete recap here at the end of the show, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Let's go ahead and welcome in. Tonight on the show will be Big Al McMordie. You catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Does great work up there. Was a unit leader here the first 2 years in this Pick Dogs, 2021, 2022 with unit leader for the year. And there's still a lot of 2023 left. We haven't even got to football season yet. We'll bring him in right now. Big Al McMordie. Big Al, what's happening?
Oh, how's my favorite handicapper doing today, Tony?
I'm doing great. Doing awesome. All right, Big Al, here we go. Marlins and Phillies here. This one begins in about 18 minutes from now. We see the Marlins favored minus 108, a total of 8.5.
Yeah, I was on both of these teams yesterday. I won with Miami against Detroit. They won that game 8-6. Had a disappointing game with Philadelphia, though. They lost in extra innings to the Pirates. They just gave that game away. Their starter had no hits through 5. The manager takes him out. Reliever comes in, promptly gives up 2 runs to tie it up, and then it just got even worse from there. They had a bunch of errors, a bunch of base running mishaps. But I'm going to come right back with Philadelphia here. Taijuan Walker is going to get the start for the Phillies. He's been doing really well lately, Tony. 7-1 in his last 9 starts with a 2.42 ERA and a 1.09 WHIP. The Phillies, of course, all that matters is how they do when he starts, and they're 15-4 his last 19 starts. Conversely, Edward Cabrera for the Marlins, 0-3 his last 3 outings, has a 7.36 ERA. Walker's fared very well versus Miami in his career. His last 6 starts, he's gone 4-0 with a 2.65 ERA. So I like Philadelphia here to bounce back off those back-to-back losses of the Buccos.
All right, we got Al here on, Big Al here with the Phillies plus 100 here against the Marlins. Marlins have had struggles here against the NL East this season, losing record. Do you looking into that? I know it's a big conversation in football, right? Divisional games. Is this something you kind of look at in baseball?
I don't at all. I mean, it's just, there's just 162 games, and it's just not that important to me. I care more about it in the NFL. I don't really care about it in the NBA either, I think pretty much just the NFL is all I really care about, division stuff and revenge and all that kind of stuff.
There you go, Big Al here on the Phillies. Even money here against the Marlins. This one have a start time here of 6:40, about 15 minutes from now. First pitch. All right, Big Al, let's take a look over at Pick Dodgement for tonight's action. Of course, Big Al has been well documented with successful NFL college football handicapper, as well as all the major sports. Big Al, we have 10 games on the board for Major League Baseball. What do you have going on over at the site?
Got 2 baseball plays today. One is for sale. The other one goes only to clients. And as Jay just mentioned, there's only 5.5 hours left in the Christmas in July special. I was up 41.86 net gains in football and basketball last season, and pretty much the same thing the year before. And of course, football starts this weekend with the Hall of Fame game. So if someone bets $1,000 a game in football and basketball, they would have made $41,860 on my plays last year, and also pretty much the year before. And when you do the Christmas and July special, Tony, it's just 94 cents a play for everything I've got through the 52 weeks. If you add that pick code to get another 50% off, then I think it goes out to about 86 cents a play. So it's very, very good value, and there's only 5.5 hours left. So be sure to jump on board.
Be sure to jump on board with Big Al over at Pick Dodgement. Christmas in July. Fantastic numbers here in football. Big Al, you've been documented for years, right? Ever since you entered this industry, it's been several decades now, right?
Yeah, I mean, going back to when Jack Stewart ran Sports Watch, I don't know how many people remember that name. Ruth Glasgow, sports monitor of Oklahoma City. Now I'm currently documented by Sports Watch Monitor. I've ranked actually number 1 in NBA and college basketball last year, number 1 in NBA and college basketball combined the year before, and number 1 the year before that. So that's 3 years in a row I've ranked number 1 in NBA and college basketball. Also really good in football, as you know, have won the last 11 NFL years in a row. So I'm pretty consistent. Don't win every year, that's for sure. But I've won 23 out of the 31 football seasons documented and 23 out of the 31 basketball seasons documented. So doesn't get much more consistent than that, and hopefully we can do it again this year. So, hopefully people, if they want to jump on board, if they want to team me up with one of their other favorite handicappers under the 2-for-1 handicapper special, let's make a lot of money this season.
Yeah, that's right. Get him on board with Big Al McMordie over at Pick Dodgement. Get that 1 year all sports pass. We're running down here. It's over on August 31st, so this is your last day to act. So July 31st, it's over here in just a few hours, guys. So make sure you get on board with that 1 year all sports pass here from Big Al McMordie. Pick the promo code, save that 50% off. And of course, Big Al, when they get your plays, just for some of the folks who knew, they just don't get the pick, they also get written analysis from you from the plays.
Oh, sure. Yeah. The written analysis, which a lot of people enjoy. I'm a technical and situational handicapper, so that's my angle. But, other guys have other kinds of written analysis, I suppose. It's well worth it. Have you taken a look at the Hall of Fame game at all, Tony?
I have not yet looked at it yet, no.
It got hit today. The Browns are now up to -2.5, and the over-under's down to 31.5. And it's pretty interesting. Last year the Jets were 3-0 in the preseason. The Browns were 1-2, but the Browns are favored in this game. And I was taking a look at how Hall of Fame games have gone over the last 40 years or so. And interestingly, teams that went undefeated the year before, then in the Hall of Fame game, they've only gone 2-3 ATS. Small sample size, of course. But the team that had the worst preseason record the year before, they've gone 15-9-1 ATS in the Hall of Fame game. So that kind of bodes well for Cleveland. Favorites have also done well in the Hall of Fame game, but especially when they're -1 to -2.5. They've gone 13-6-1 ATS. They don't do very well when it's -3 or higher, so keep an eye on the number here. Currently it's 2.5 for Cleveland, but you don't want to lay 3 or more points in the Hall of Fame game. You'd be underwater if you did that.
Yeah, Big Al with that database of knowledge there to let you know he has all these records from his database. And of course, Big Al, of course, a lot of conversation here. Hall of Fame games, with these totals, we see these really low totals here, especially early in preseason.
Well, this might surprise you, but over-unders below 33 points, they've actually been high-scoring games. They've gone over the total 5 out of 6. When you see over-unders above 35 points, they've actually been lower-scoring games. Most of the time, the lines are between 33 and 35. So this is actually one of the rare times it's below 33. But again, we've seen high-scoring Hall of Fame games when they've been under 33 points, 5-1 over the total, when we've had low totals in the Hall of Fame game.
Only three preseason games. Big Al, back in the day, they used to play 7 of these.
I don't even remember that.
I don't. They did.
They played 7? What year?
Oh, we're going back in the 70s. Yeah, it's been a while.
Oh my God, I remember when they've played 5.
Yeah.
And some teams would play 4, some teams would play 5. I don't even remember the 7. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, but remember they had more rounds. They had more rounds in the draft.
I mean, now I think it's swung the other way. I don't like this at all. I wish they would have just kept it at 4, especially because they don't even, the starters don't even play in week 1 and week 3. So it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I wish they had more games, but.
No, that's how it rolls. All right, Big Al, have a great rest of the week.
Thanks,
remember,
Tom.
Get on board with that Christmas, July. We're counting down the hours here. When we hit August 1st, it's over. So you just have a few more hours to act on that 1-year All Sports Pass. Christmas in July, big savings. $500 off Big Al's 1-year All Sports Pass. Another 15% off the reduced price. Lots of savings there. All right, Big Al, have a great rest of the night. We'll catch up with you on.
Talk to you on Wednesday.
You got it on Wednesday. Big Al McMordie here on the Drive-Thru. Guys, if you missed a pick, we're going to recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here on the Drive-Thru. And I think up next to here we have is Ron Zawacki. So let me get his game ready to go with Ron Zawacki. He's going to be looking at this Reds and Cubs game, a pretty interesting one tonight. So let's go ahead and bring him in right now. Reds celebrating after their win against the Dodgers. Pulled a 9 spot on them yesterday. And we'll bring in Ron Zawacki. Let's see if we can get him in here in just a second. We also get some peripheral picks from Rod as well. So we'll talk about that as well. We'll bring in Rod Zawacki in right now. Rod, what's happening?
Yeah, not too much. Enjoying this Monday. I have the Hall of Fame game as well. I don't know. I still don't know. I'm still undecided on who to take. I might take a pass on that.
I usually, my rule now in the NFL is handicap the day before. And sometimes I will handicap the game if it's the Sunday morning stuff. So I'm usually about 12 to 14 hours before I really do a deep dive in the games, because there's just so much changes now, especially in preseason, who's playing, who's not playing. Now what I like to do is I like to look at the running back rotations. I catch with the Raiders last year because they had so much depth at running back, because that it's a lot of running in the, mainly because everyone's afraid that the offensive linemen aren't fully tuned to protect the passers. Even in your backup, you don't want your backup getting hurt, right? So they usually run the ball just to preserve the health of their quarterbacks.
Oh, definitely preseason turns to very conservative play calling. We're not pulling on the deep playbook plays for the preseason. We will see some. I know we've seen some teams that love to pull out some of the trick plays and try them out, and there's a great place to try them out. But yeah, definitely a lot of running. Hand the ball off. Basic football plays. Here, hand the ball off. Here, hand the ball off. Short right, short left. These little short dump passes to see how things go. If they can break one, hey, that's usually what you see. Scoring wise, sure, I've seen some teams go back and forth as well. So, like Big Al says, he goes, some of them Hall of Fame games have been high scoring. I remember over the last few years, but for me, it's like I'm probably not gonna. I'm gonna stay probably clear of that one.
Yep. That looks there. All right, Rod, here we go. Let's get your game ready to roll here. Major League Baseball for tonight here. We're going to be looking at this Reds and Cubs going battle. This is an interesting one. We see the line low down to -129 here on the Cubs with a total of 8.5.
Yeah, you look at this line, and it's like the Reds looking pretty good here at the plus money. Both teams have been playing pretty good baseball over the last 10. Reds 7-3, Cubs 8-2 in their last 10. Reds off that big series win versus the Dodgers. But but they played well against the Dodgers this year. That Dodgers bullpen definitely they're probably looking for a guy as well. So, but Julian here, I know it's a tough spot here for the Reds. You got to fly across the country to come here and play the Cubs here in this one. But Andrew Abbott's getting the start here, and he's been good for the Reds this season. 8-2 with a 1.9 ERA and a .96 WHIP. Solid on the road as well. 4-1 with a 2.25 ERA and a 1.32 WHIP. And on the other side, well, definitely July has not treated Stroman very well. The start of the year, he was pitching lights out, and then the calendar turned to July, and he's definitely got roughed up this July. And we've seen him fall off so bad. So I don't want to lay anything with any price with Stroman on the mound. You look at this Reds offense, and they've been crushing right-handed pitching over the last 10, batting .265. And you look on the other side, this left-handed pitching struggles for the Cubs. 211 over the last 10. It's a tough spot here for the Cubs. I know the Reds it's a tough little travel spot, but I think they come up to play. Their offense is just too much, and they've dominated the Cubs this year. 4-1 in the 5 meetings previous this season. I think the Reds.
All right, we got Rod coming in here with the Reds here, plus 116, plus 111. Do your line shopping here against the Chicago Cubs. And, a lot of folks make a note of that late game. Remember, this is Chicago. This is the Midwest. I don't think I'm almost concerned with that flight angle when it's kind of a coastal city. Teams flying east to west or west to east. That something I look at. But, even in these days, the starting pitcher flies out ahead of the team anyway.
Yeah, he's already in Chicago waiting. He probably watched the 9-0 win on TV in Chicago. Got a good night's sleep and waiting there for him, as you said. And it's such a fast flight. It's not so. It's a direct flight. It's like they played a day game. Like it wasn't a late night game yesterday. Sure, it was an afternoon game, but so they might have got out of L.A. 6 o'clock. You gain a couple hours, so you lose a couple hours on the flight there. You might have rolled in, say, even 10, 11 o'clock at night. Still enough time to grab a bite to eat, get a good 8 hours sleep, get up, do your pregame morning thing, and still be ready for this game. So I don't think that's going to affect.
Usually in these situations, you always get your stretches in. There's no doubt about that. You may not get your hitting in, but this is July 31st, right? Really, how much batting practice do you need?
Yeah. It might be optional batting practice in the morning for those that want to get up and hit the ball around a little bit. Some guys do, some guys don't. Kind of like they do in hockey on on these situations like this. It's like optional. Come in, work, do a little workout, get your stretches in. But the big deep diving, hitting, maybe not. Save it for this one here.
Sleep is more important.
Right down the pitches.
Yeah, the 8 hours
sleep is more important. Rest.
Yeah.
So they can get back to the hotel, get that 8 hours sleep. You maybe get a nap in the afternoon here before this game. But,
and you're not flying commercial. You're not sitting around airports. You're going right out to the plane and flying out.
Exactly.
A little different.
So,
sometimes you get the value in the line, right? Sometimes people overvalue. Oh, they played the late game. Sometimes you can get better value on that team flying in if you think they're the superior club, knowing that you got a dominant pitcher on there. He's out there ahead of time.
Well, yeah, because books are giving. They're thinking that they're taking that into the equation. Oh, the Reds are going to be tired, and this is a letdown spot from facing the Dodgers. No, the Reds need wins, just as bad as anybody else. And this is not a letdown spot. Their Reds are pumped. This team is excited with each other, and it's like, watch over the Reds.
There we go. Keep an eye on these Reds. Plus 116, plus 111 here against the Cubs. This one to have a start time here. 8 p.m. Eastern time. Where's the peripheral picks? No peripherals on the board. We got WNBA coming back here on the first. The first we do have it for tomorrow, but we can talk about that tomorrow. But then of course the CFL just we got 4 games scheduled. Looks like the Thursday lineup up again here. BC and Winnipeg, Toronto and Calgary, Montreal and Hamilton.
See, the one I'm looking at the most, it came down to a pick of it. Had Hamilton at 3. That line opened up at that's on Saturday's game. In that one. Hamilton without a quarterback again. There we go. Got to go with the backup. Bo Levi Mitchell came into that game this week, played the game right on through, and in injury time, when all he had to do was take a knee, he decided that he should try to run the ball. I don't know who designed the play or who did that, but somebody made a boo-boo, and he went running on a run play that was useless. The game was over, and got rolled up on and fractured his leg. Had a season-ending surgery. He's out for the year. Bo Levi, Mitchell out for the year. Hamilton Tiger Cats. That line went from Hamilton -3 to pick 'em now. So I would bet against Hamilton in that one. Just tough news. The Hamilton is one of them. They're like the Elks. The bad news just keeps piling up. So they're the bad news in the west, in the East there. And you know what? This is a revenge game for Winnipeg. Winnipeg at home here against BC. We already seen BC come into Winnipeg earlier this year. Can BC come into Winnipeg twice? I don't think so. I'm going to go with Winnipeg. Lay the points early. I think they win by a touchdown plus. I think that starts to rise. As we know, BC without Vernon Adams in the lineup there, going to have the guy they just hired, Dean Evans. They scooped him up to play the last game. He looked good, but that was against the Elks, and he just hands the ball off. The Elks rush defense is awful. Was last in the CFL. So all he had to do was hand the ball off. And now going against this Winnipeg team that they're not going to let you just hand the ball off. He's going to have to throw the ball, and that's a scary proposition there. Take Winnipeg in that one. And Calgary, the boatload of points. That's a boatload of points for sure. I would take Calgary plus the 8 there against it's always a low-scoring battle. It opened to 52.5. It's down to 51. I like the under there as well, as Calgary at times has struggled to score on offense in that one. And then Ottawa and Saskatchewan. You look at Saskatchewan, 0-3 against that number at home, and they're at plus money. That one's the one that jumped out to me. Why is Saskatchewan plus money at home here? Like, why are they at +1 at home here? Is the Saskatchewan team? This Ottawa team with Crom has been rolling. They just missed punching it in last week to get the touchdown to win 3 straight. Is this Ottawa team? I think Ottawa's playing better. I think I would have to take Ottawa in that one. I can see why it's a 1 point, but Saskatchewan, tough place to play. I still go with Ottawa in that one.
There you go, Raj. Perfect plays. We got Canadian football CFL single games on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So make a note of that. Perfect picks here from Rod Zawacky. Anything else to add, Rod?
No, I think that's it so far.
All right,
so far,
there you go.
That's all I can see for this week. Still early. We still got Tuesday and Wednesday for more peripherals. I can deep dive a little more stuff coming up.
That's right. WNBA, we're heading the stretch. Playoff time is coming up. I think in August is when they do the playoffs in WNBA. So lots coming up this week. Remember for the show, Reds plus 116 here against the Cubs. Do your line shopping, get the best numbers. Come down a bit now since the show began. So this one begins here 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Rod, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge for nice actions. We still have, we're going to have 9 games on the board. We got that Philly and Miami game started. What do you have going on over at the site?
And over Pick Dodge Premium tonight, I got 2 plays. I got my play of the day. We've hit 39 of the last 62 of those. You can scoop that up singly, or I've got one for a long-term bonus. And as everybody before me has said, it's, 5 hours to go before the Christmas in July is gone for the year. So definitely head on over. Use that promo code PICK at checkout. Scoop up my year pass, and that way you don't miss out on anything going forward. All the NFL, all the college football, all the NHL, college hoops, the rest of the MLB playoffs, and WNBA playoffs. You'll probably get it here, so don't worry about that. But definitely jump aboard, grab the year pass. Don't miss out on that Christmas in July sale. Let's kick the books butt.
That's right, guys. Got on board with Rod Zawacky over at Pick Dog Trim. Get on board with his plays for tonight, or if you prefer, that Christmas July just hours away. It's over here July 31st, and when we hit August 1st, it's over. So you just have a few hours to get on board with Rod's 1 year all sports pass. That's the best value right now. Greatly reduced right now for Christmas in July. We can save you another 15% off when you use that promo code PICK at checkout. Remember, every play that Rod releases over at Pick Dodge Premium, all his premium plays, including postseason, bowl games, March Madness, NIT, CIT, CBI, all those tournaments are covered. Also, preseason football is also documented there, so that's covered there. So get on board with Rod Zawacky with that 1 year all sports pass, all his premium plays for the year, including postseason, and pick to save that extra 15% off. All right, Rod, as always, great having you on the show. Have yourself a great evening, and we'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me. Thanks, everybody. Hit that like button. Costs you nothing. Helps us out a ton. We appreciate everybody that tunes in daily to support us here at Big Dogs. So definitely have yourself a good night. Good luck with your bets. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.
Catch you guys tomorrow. Rod Zawacki here on the drive through. We'll continue on, guys. If you missed any picks, we're going to recap at the end of the show, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here on the show. We'll get to my play, and then we'll get you to the recap. So let me pull up here let me get my game set up for you here. I'm just going to go to my code and let you know what the game it is here. It's not going to be that one. It's not going to be that one. It's not these. This one has just began here. Top of the first, Phillies and Marlins. We're going to go over this Padres and this Rockies game. We've seen the total creep up to 12 from 11.5 here. Padres big favorites, 205. Total sits here at 12, and I just can't justify playing the Padres here. I'm going to go Rockies here, plus 186 in this one. We've seen some improvement from Gomber, right? Gomber's been someone who's we like to pick on a little bit, but he's shown a little bit. He's shown enough improvement for me to back him at this huge price right here. Of course, we know the Padres have been a team that has really underperformed this season, really trying to chase their way, claw their way into postseason play this year. And looking here at Gomber, he's allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in 4 of his past 5 starts. And we know Padres have trended to the under in their games. Gomber has trended to the under. I mean, when you look at the under, 8-1 to the under as a dog of plus 150 or greater this year. And that means that these games are relatively lower scoring. So maybe we'll take the value here with this Rockies team at plus 183. I just think that's the way to roll here in this one. Divisional game here. We know the Rockies obviously are going to hit better. And when they've been a home underdog of even money or greater. So Rockies as a home underdog of even money or greater, 20-18 straight up, about plus 10 units here when they're dogs at home of even money or greater. So that's it's even better when they're bigger dogs of plus 150 to plus 200 over the past 2 seasons, 18-15 straight up, plus 15.5 units. The Rockies in this spot, and that means if you just bet them when they're plus 150 or greater, you're gonna win. Even if you're a little below 500 straight up, you're still showing units. I mean, look, 3 games over 500 when they're dogs of plus 150 to plus 200. 3 games over 500, but plus 15.5 units. So there you go. You still got to handicap it again. Gomber's shown an improvement for me to take him in this spot. That's the key here. But the big dog at home, you're winning with Rockies. That's just really what it comes down to. Past 2 seasons with their big dogs. And this is the case here. 18-15 straight up, plus 15.5 units. Home dog of plus 150 to plus 200 over the past 2 seasons. That has been money making right there. All right, guys, check out Pick Dog Stream for tonight's action. I got a 3-pack on the board, 3 plays for Major League Baseball. My best bets also bundled in my 3-pack, so don't buy them both. Just buy one or the other, or also my Christmas in July. Right now over at Pick Dodge Premium, get on board with my Christmas in July. 1 year all sports pass has been reduced. Get all my premium plays for the 1 year. It's also the postseason as well, preseason football as well is included here in that 1 year all sports pass. You can also use the promo code PICK Check out, save you another 15% off. Great value right now over at Pick Dogs Premium. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-through. Now let's get to the recap. Brian was on the Giants, minus 126 against the D-backs. David liked the Brewers run line, lay the run and a half, minus 123 in their game here tonight. We got the Jay on the Red Sox, plus 112 against the Mariners. Al was on the Phillies, plus even money here against the Marlins. If you like in game that, you might even get a better number because the Phillies went out in the first, in the top of the, actually we're still in the top of the first there. And I believe we're top of the first here with 2 outs, so still some value there. Even if the Marlins go out, Phillies go out here, you may even get better numbers here in the live betting. Rod's here on the Reds, plus 116 against the Cubs. I'll be on the Rockies here with that big number, plus 183 here against the Padres. What I like the most, I like that Rod's pick here with the Reds. We talked about that one, where it might be a little, folks maybe, talking about that angle there a little bit too much with that travel spot. It's not cross country, it's only to the Midwest, so it's not the same going east to west or west to east. The Reds, they played a day game. They go to Chicago for the 8 o'clock Eastern start time, and don't have an issue with it at all. Remember, the starting pitchers usually flies in a lot ahead of time. That is indeed. All right, I'd like to thank everybody in the chat today. Dennis Thoreau in there. James Thru, Rod Z in there as well. Lando86 in the chat. Nick Beats Vegas, shout out to you as well. Zachary in there as well. Mike Irvin, Michael Magic in there today as well. Great contributors here. Louis Eisenhower, Rem Most, Fernando Valenzuela, Louis Eisenhower, now Turner, John Stewart in there as well, and of course more folks in there in the chat. Appreciate everyone's contribution there. Ranger Painter Lyle in here. Mims in the chat as well. So shout out to everybody there in the chat. Latifa in the house as well. Shout out to Latifa in the chat room. All right, that's going to do here for our show. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us. And don't forget to tune in again tomorrow live here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring our cappers here from Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. They'll give it their place for you in real time. For that 15-game card on Tuesday, also WNBA on the board. Gets us closer to that Hall of Fame game. And don't forget, it always gets started with that morning show, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time on weekdays with Mitch, with Chris, and with Jay. That morning show, remember Mitch's video series, 7 picks in 5 minutes. Betting Tools show, his professional roundtable show as well. We got Chris with his Major League Baseball home run prop video series. Thanks to Chris for filling in for me on my vacation Thursday, Friday. And of course, we also have Jay's NFL show along with Mitch together in an NFL show here every day. Mike Davis with his live show, and of course his first 5 plays, of course, as well as prize picks in there. We got the parlay video here from Brad, and of course Mills with his prop videos. I'm just lots and lots and lots of video series here, guys. Even more coming on your way. So just make sure you like, subscribe, set notifications, so when these videos drop, you get them right away. Don't forget Ron Romanelli's Major League Baseball rundown, a pick from every game from the Major League Baseball card. All right, that's going to do it here for tonight's show. Let's bring in our crew for tonight. Going to wait goodbye, guys. You guys have a great afternoon and evening. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow here on the drive-thru. And don't forget, last seconds here, last hours before you can take advantage of that Christmas in July. So you better hurry and get signed up now, because August 1st, those prices go up. So you guys got to make sure you get it right now. So get over to the premium page and get that 1-year pass from your favorite capper.